You also said something to me that was very hard to hear at the time.
Oh,
but
great.
I needed to hear it because without hearing that, I kind of was like, I'm not really hurting anybody. I'm fine. Yeah. And you go, dude, you have become a liability to your family. And hearing that from someone that I love was
love you too, man.
Was a lot. I'm Tyler Ramsey, and this is Painful Lessons Podcast. And we have the most kick-ass episode, and the theme for this episode is punk rock sober. We have these episodes that I'm very excited about, and with kind of a theme, and the theme is punk rock sober. That's why I'm wearing this shirt. And I'd also like to know if my arms look good. I'll probably put on a shirt during this interview if my producer says that my arms don't look good.
Dude, your arms look solid.
Oh, okay, great. So in celebration of punk rock sober, we have a legitimate, real rock and roll hero, and his name is Wes Geer. Welcome to Painful Lessons.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be part of the punk rock sober portion.
Of course.
Of Painful Lessons.
Of course.
Yeah.
I would say your genre of music is rock, right? Would you call it anything?
You know, you as a fellow artist know that's the hardest thing to ask a musician to do, classify. And then you just put me in this.
I did that.
Rock is so generic.
Wait. Okay, then let me finish.
They used to call us nu metal.
Okay.
Which we didn't make that up. That was a European thing.
Okay.
My first band, Head PE, we were fusing legit punk rock and legit hip hop. So, I do tell people in your defense, I'm a rock guitar player. Cause they're like, what kind of music you play? I'm like, well, I'm a rock guitar player.
You're a rock guitar. So I think that I was just trying to say, when I think of punk rock sober, okay, you were a crucial part of my, I have almost 5 years. You're not really supposed to front, but I have almost 5 years.
That's great.
Getting really close to 5 years. And you were a big part of me getting to a place where I had to go, all right, I'm gonna surrender.
I saw you when you were hopped up on goofballs.
You did. I think I was trying to pretend that I wasn't hopped up on goofballs.
Yeah. And
you're like, I see you.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. You also said something to me that was very hard to hear at the time.
Oh,
but
great.
I needed to hear it because without hearing that, I kind of was like, I'm not really hurting anybody. I'm fine. Yeah. And you go, dude, you have become a liability to your family. And hearing that from someone that I love was
love you too, man.
Was a lot.
Yeah. It's, when our ears are closed, it doesn't matter what somebody says.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So you had to have your ears open somewhat, right? You were slowly moving towards more and more openness to changing, probably. That's why you could hear something like that.
Yeah.
But I went through that same thing too. Like, whatever, I'm just getting loaded. Why do you care? It's just my life. And then you realize people cover for you and they're lying for you. And, even when I was 18 and I was running amok, my dad coming home late, after curfew, my dad finally kicked me out and was like, I don't know if I'm going to get the call that you're dead, basically. And he was a doctor. But even then, it didn't hit me then. Years later, I had to really, I was like, whatever, dead. That's stupid. Why would I be dead? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
But that shows like what? I got sober when I was 38. So 20 years earlier, that message should have landed for me and I wasn't ready.
Regrets are not helpful, but every now and then I'm like, what if I would have got this at 20?
Oh yeah. Well, I think, they call it morbid reflection, right? It could be morbid reflection if you're bringing yourself down and you let you succumb into the darkness. Yeah. But when you're cherishing it, like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Imagine if I had just gotten this sooner. And so from that standpoint, it sounds like it's like cherishing the gift.
It's a version of gratitude.
Absolutely.
I don't want to go too far before I finish your bio. I think that by the way, there's a story that I'm going to ask you to tell later in this.
Okay.
And it's when you were playing with Korn. So
Yeah.
how many years did you spend playing with Korn?
I say a few years because who knows? I mean, to be honest,
All right.
a few years playing with Korn. Yeah.
I think a few years is the answer to so many things. But,
Yeah.
okay. I'm going to go. So you were a guitarist for Korn for a few years.
Yep.
And you are also the CEO of Rock to Recovery.
That is correct.
Which does
founder too.
Founder and CEO, which does amazing things.
Thank you.
I think, and you do more than this, but you speak, and then you have concerts, big concerts that help the sober community.
Yeah.
And if anything, I think you also do an amazing job. I feel like you're instrumental in
Pun
removing
intended.
a stigma from recovery, which still hasn't been I still have friends that are,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, there's no stigma anymore. They go, you don't get it.
Well, we're artists, right? And so we're in the artist community, and we know so many artists, and there's a lot of famous, well-known artists who are just like in 12-step programs, open about it, et cetera, et cetera. So from our lens, it's easy to say there's no stigma, but you get into like, corporations and stuff, and they're all in the full facade still. It's a little different over there. But thank you. And so just to help the listeners, the concert you're talking about, because obviously with Korn, I played concerts, and Head PE, my first band in the 90s, we played concerts. But Rock to Recovery has a nonprofit event to raise funds so we could give away basically our therapeutic music services to state-funded programs and like other programs that couldn't pay for our program. So I decided like to have a fundraiser, and haven't been sober and going to the backyard parties where it's 6 people smoking cigarettes, drinking Red Bull, super insecure, vibrating, going. And I was just like, is this what recovery is? I can't hang. Yeah. It was an exciting opportunity for me to like having a little bit of access as I do to some celebrities and rock stars who are sober, to get them playing on our stage and have a big, bright, colorful A-list all the way. You know what I mean? I'm not getting Brad Pitt in there, maybe someday, but meaning like it's not hiding in a basement, dark and ugly and depressing. Yeah. And so in an effort to sell out the event and move tickets, because we're not a event, concert promo company, we started selling to the local treatment centers. And so half the audience, it would sell out every year at 1,300 people, would be from local treatment centers. So if you can imagine what would happen is Bob goes, fine, I'll go to rehab. 7 days into his rehab, we're going to a concert. Yeah. And then we got Mike Ness, Social Distortion, up there going, there would be no Social D if I didn't get sober and stop shooting dope. And he's like, whoa.
I can't stress enough how important it is to have heroes that have basically saved their lives by giving up what was holding them back. I think I know for certain that I had a conversation with Josh Brolin, who I think is incredible as an artist. I love his movies, but also just kind of as a artist soul. And he is the one that actually came up with the phrase punk rock sober.
That's cool.
And it was hearing that, oh man, it's not like giving up stuff. It's like this is like a punk decision to feel all the feelings.
Ooh, yeah. You're going 100. So that's why like something for like Cali sober is like, okay, that's like having somebody carry your bag, going all the way sober into life and feeling it all the way. And so like never relying on any substance to get you by or to relax or to social lubricant. That's the most punk rock thing you could do.
The most punk rock thing you can do, man.
And you're elevating your game. When I was newly sober and, I felt like who I was a Jack Daniels drinking, cigarette smoking, womanizer guitar player. That's who I am, and then now who am I? I'm sober. I'm not in a band anymore. And I would think, well, who's the coolest guy at the party? The coolest guy at the party is like, I don't need a drink. I'm funny. I'm handsome. I got style. The chicks love me. And that's it. And you know what I mean? I kind of had this vision of like a truly empowered human doesn't need anything.
100%. they're confident and they're very comfortable in their own skin. And then that's what they like. Yeah. 100%. I couldn't be more passionate about this, but I do like that you are highlighting different, I don't know how to put it, kind of heroes of recovery.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say something as trite as celebrity, but heroes that, are in the public eye.
Yeah.
And, I remember I saw, I think it was an Oscar speech, and Robert Downey Jr. received an award. And when he received that award, he used that platform to reach out and to say thank you to someone that had got him sober.
I think it was Brad Pitt.
No, it was Mel Gibson.
Oh, that's right.
And he's also like, by the way, we've really been roughing this guy up for a while, and maybe it's time to, he used the phrase, hug the cactus. He's been hugging the cactus for a long time. But I was very inspired when I saw that. Yeah. And I don't want to think of that I'm so moved by seeing different people on TV do things or something. But I love, my heroes used to be Jim Morrison and Jim Belushi and James Belushi. What is it? James? Anyway, one of the Belushis. Yeah. The one that killed himself. And I thought that's the artsy way to live. It's so great having better examples now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I think, especially if you're an artist, but we got to see, like, for me, like, cool, that sobriety can be cool, that you can be cool and edgy. And, I think it has to do back to that punk rock thing with really, like, when I first got sober, I got really shy and timid. And because you're also facing yourself and the obnoxious parts of self and the ego, and then you don't want to, I didn't want to offend anybody. So I got kind of afraid to cuss in that. And so then I kind of withdrew too much, and I had to start pushing myself to find my edge that I'm okay with. Right. It's a lot different than it was drinking Jack Daniels and doing meth all night.
Yeah.
It's definitely a different edge, but to find that edgy thing so I can be all the way me and be fearless,
Totally.
And that's why I think seeing artists or actors or musicians, whatever, who are sober and still crush it, like Trent Reznor did an amazing record after getting sober. And if that guy isn't edgy and, all those things, artsy.
Who is? If that guy's not artsy, who is?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. The other thing that we have in common that I know that you're passionate about is we love the California desert. And we both have kind of gone all in on this area called Joshua Tree, specifically a town called 29 Palms. Yeah. And I think that it's one of my favorite things to discuss is how incredible, first of all, the whole Joshua Tree National Park is. I mean, I think it's magical.
Yeah. Why didn't they do a Star Trek episode there? That would have been great. Like William Shatner.
Did they not shoot there? That seems like a fool. Oh, they have a place called Vasquez Rock that you could shoot close enough to LA. I can assume, and then if you travel 3 hours, you have to pay all kinds of extra things. So that was probably the answer.
That's probably why. Yeah.
There are a couple cool rock spots, but not as cool as Joshua Tree.
Joshua Tree's otherworldly.
Otherworldly.
Yeah. It's a cool culture out there. I have a funny story too. Yeah. It's the first house I ever bought. And I did it in 29 Palms when I was just hearing about Joshua Tree through the influencers. I'm really into meditation. I did a meditation. I was looking around Laguna Beach, didn't feel right. My meditation said, go to the desert. After months of looking, the first day I put an offer in on a property. I go home.
What?
I'm like driving, and before 20 minutes until I get to Joshua Tree, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not even in Joshua Tree. I'm in the edge of 29 Palms. What am I doing? So I did a meditation. That night I couldn't sleep. And I meditated okay, tell me, universe, about this property. Is it a sound investment? And when I get downloads, it interrupts me. I could tell it's not coming from me. So I'm asking silently in this meditation about this property. And it said, this will be very powerful for you through the people you meet.
Okay.
That is not an answer I would have come. I would desert people. I'm from the beach. We used to be like 909 kooks out in the desert. Go back to San Bernardino, right? I get out there and I meet your brother right away, and we're hiking Ashton with Army. My next door neighbor is this incredible artist from Laguna Beach who does stuff for Beyonce video. He's amazing. Meet Xander, incredible musician, this whole community.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I met you.
Yep, it is.
I mean, the people I've met out there in the community was like all in the download.
It's the big, and now this is I think the coolest thing I can, I think one of the single most talented actors of like several generations is James Franco, and love the guy. I think he is as cool as it gets. And he is currently shooting, or not shooting, he's in a play that Ashton is co-producing in 29 Palms. Have you seen it yet?
I saw it last time.
Oh,
I'm going to see it Saturday too. So
Friday.
People that I've told about this meditation, right? So
what is it called? Desert Films. It's called Desert Films.
Desert Films. It was really good. What do they call it? It's a thespian word for a play with only two people, like a two-banger, a two-shooter, a two-seater.
There's more than two. There's three people.
Well, I know, but the people, the play people had a name for it.
Whatever. What?
So after one of the plays, I don't know James at all. Obviously, Ashton, we're all back at the pool as Ashton, James, Army, and the other actor at my pool. And I'm just like, I just always go back to that meditation.
Cool.
Like people that might be watching this podcast, like, yeah, you're from LA, so there's an actor in your pool. It's like, no, I don't know these people. I didn't try. I'm just at my house. I'm like, how did this happen? And it was in the meditation.
Dude, it is an awesome play. I don't really like plays, and I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It was really entertaining. There's a dark comedy aspect to it, and like you said, James Franco's super dope.
The other guy in it is my friend Blaine, who is hilarious in it. But it blows my mind that my brother is involved in this James Franco production, because I remember maybe 15 years ago, I was at a music festival, and I think it was Edward Sharp and the Magnetic Zeros. They were filming a music video that James Franco was directing. And I was like, that dude is like king of the artists. Like, way to go, dude. And who would have thought that my brother Ashton would be involved in a play with him?
Yeah.
Such an artsy thing to be involved in.
It's so cool. In 29 Palms.
In 29 Palms. Ashton is a real success story, I have to say. So Ashton, for a while, Ashton moved out here to work for me, to work for a reality show that I was working on at the time. I think it was called Joe Millionaire. And he worked in casting. Yeah. And I was able to get him a few jobs, and he had no idea what to do with his life at the time. And my stepdad was giving him all kinds of pressure, and he had no clue. He would I think he was selling cars or something, and he would occasionally kind of be pinned down, like, what do you want to do with your life? And he would just say things like finance and finance. And he'd be like, are you doing anything to try to get a job in finance? He'd be like, yeah, I talked to this friend of mine, and anyway, no leads. And he came out here and he was so excited. And immediately I got him a job working in casting for me on this show. And his job, like his first gig, was traveling around Europe looking for hot girls to be on a show, like a Joe Millionaire show.
What a horrible gig.
And I teamed him up with this casting assistant, and they ended up dating for like 3 years. So he was like hooking up with someone I'd basically put in his lap. And I mean, I was kind of a bully growing up. And so I think I made it up for it. Yeah. So I don't know if he would agree, but okay. So then, and then he had these other great jobs. He was like a stunt tester on the show Survivor for a while in Thailand. Like, he just had these amazing jobs. But cool. Then I feel like all of a sudden he was like he got to a place where he's like, I don't really want to keep working in casting. I don't want to do this. And he was kind of depressed. He didn't know what he was going to do. And he like gained weight. And I think every time Ashton has a girlfriend, he gains weight. It's so crazy. But
I think a lot of people do that.
They do, don't they? Yeah. So he, all of a sudden, Detroit was happening, and he put all of his money into like these houses that had like all of a sudden gone to like zero.
Yeah.
And there, I think he bought like apartment buildings for like $100, and then a couple years later sold them and made a fortune. And then he was like, "What's next?" And he went,
there's that finance.
All in on 29 Palms.
Yeah.
He bought that hotel, and he's created this amazing community.
Yeah.
You're part of the community.
Yeah. He's helped grow I always called him the mayor because he's like kind of the draw that brings so many people from LA out there.
Oh,
and
my God.
First guy I met, and when I was like, are there even people out here? And yeah, he's been instrumental. He hooked me up with designer Kristen Schultz, who I work with, and
Yeah.
it's all been beautiful. Yeah. Thank you.
So
Ashton.
cool. Thanks, Ashton.
Yeah.
What are you? Oh, wait a second. I want to hear a little bit about your story of like how you talked a little bit about it, but what was it that really, you're a hero in sobriety. You've helped so many people. You helped me. What got you to a place where you could help, where you didn't need help anymore, but all of a sudden you could like start helping people?
Well, they say you can't give away what you don't have. So, I had to be taught. I'm a 12-stepper. So doing that process, the part of it is teaching it, or helping others, supporting others. But I mean, so I got my first band got signed, Head PE, to Jive Records. And the singer and I were the leaders of the band in that we would take all the meetings and stuff. And I was going to meet with Jive Records high on methamphetamine, like for days. I mean, years. I was on meth for years, but getting a record deal at the same time. So it was my muse for a while. So it was a long, slow arc. And when I finally left Head PE, I used to say not as a direct result of my alcoholism. They weren't like, you're an alkie, get out of here. But it was the result of my behaviors and not knowing how to we would go on tour, Linkin Park, Papa Roach, Korn, Deftones, Incubus, all these bands were our peers. And, Linkin Park would be writing songs after the show in the back of their bus. And I'm like, just out of my head. So like, you have this opportunity. So I was blowing it. That's my point.
But you probably thought, you're like, I need this.
Well, yeah. I mean, I learned now in hindsight that for me, sitting with myself sober after the show, after I would get that high and then come down, and then, you're around a bunch of rocker people, and what are you going to do? Go sit in the bus until bus call at 3 a.m. until you go to the next town. I didn't know what to do with myself, and I had an emptiness, and so I drank, and then when I drink, I want more. And then when I'm drunk, I'm like, I need a companion because I'm lonely and I need a girl.
Yeah.
And it isn't necessarily always about sex. It's just about somebody to make me feel better about myself. It's all attached. So, drink, play the show. Fill this hole, drink, get drunk, play the show, get the high. And then, but there was so many times too, playing a show, maybe sign a couple autographs or whatever you do. And then I would go to the bar and drink myself to oblivion and go to my bunk and just wish I wouldn't wake up. So it got really dark for me. But when the Head PE thing imploded and I called my brother immediately for a job.
Okay.
Which he gave me a job better than I deserved. But at the same time, it was like the soul crushing blow going from being a musician who I identified with, right? We talked about that, to like audio gear. This is Wes. Can I help you? Yeah. I gotta need a microphone. Just like, and I was at that job for 6 years, but through that, I hit a very low bottom. I got into meth and heroin and ended up in a rehab. And I thought my problem was the drugs, but I learned I'm just an alcoholic, like once I start, I can't stop. So that, I did the 12-step process, and, through that, I relapsed at about 3 years, and then knew what I needed to do, just get back on the horse and just go harder and more consistent. And then it was about 2 years in that I got really into meditation because I'm still working for my brother. And I'm like, I'm so trapped. I'm not going to go back to school. So I started meditating a lot. Now in the literature that we read on the 11th step, it says we develop this vital sixth sense.
Okay.
And I was like, that right there, that's what I need. And I got crazy into meditation. I have all these stories of manifestations, but I felt in my soul I wasn't done playing music. It was painful to watch a show. And it wasn't like I got to be on stage to get the chicks and sign autographs. It wasn't that. It was like my soul was like, you're not done, dude.
Yeah.
So I started doing this Wayne Dyer meditation for manifestation. all these weird synchronicities started happening. I was trying to manifest $10,000 to start a business. Out of nowhere, I got a check from the record company because T-Pain's song Bartender went into our song Bartender's bucket, and ASCAP, the publishing whatever, if they can't figure it out, through whatever forensics, then they have a rule, like after 6 months, it just goes where it went. So the point is, I got this anomaly of a check out of nowhere when I'm meditating for 10 grand. I got a check for 10 grand. I'm like, this meditation shit is working. So anyhow, all these crazy things started manifesting just as these visions I was having. So I said, I want to get back into music. I'm meditating. I'm doing this meditation. You imagine the energy going through your root chakra, out your third eye, and you just envision. And I was like, I want to get back into music. It better not be some shitty punk band. I'm not going in a van. I'm a tour bus guy.
Yeah.
And within a few days of that, Monkey from Korn hit me up and was like, hey, you want to come play guitar with us? I was like, holy shit, this meditation shit. And so it was totally a culmination of my recovery. It took me a while to get that gig, but I was applying these principles of sobriety and the hustle and going after it. And then, so when that gig was so the whole time I had that gig, I figured it was on a timer. It wasn't going to last forever. So I was always like, side hustle. What's my side hustle? And so by the time Head, the guitar player I was filling in for, came back to his band, Brian Welch.
That's a great story too.
Head. Yeah, he's amazing. He's sober. Yeah, sober. He got his head right. He came back to his band. I'm out. Now I'm like, fuck you, universe. I'm a broke, sober musician. I was pissed, right? What do I do now? Okay. And I kind of had this, I had to get, I went within with meditation. I went in. It's like, okay, I don't think God sent me here to suffer. Okay. So if I'm not here to suffer, I'm clearly supposed to be sober or else I'd be dead. I feel my heart drawn to be a musician. How can I be sober, be a musician, and help other people?
Yeah.
And that was the prayer that I learned from the 12-step rooms. My job in life is to be of service. And for me, I like to share this because I think it's the key to life for anybody, right? Is like, whatever you're doing, your goal is to like use your talents and your vocation to help other people. And if you bring that in, I feel like the universe is like, oh, I'll help you with that. If you're like, yo, dog, I need to get paid. What's up? And that's your I don't think the universe responds the same way. So that's when I got the idea for Rock to Recovery, was remembering being in rehab. We're drawing pictures with crayons. We're doing all the things, but there was no music there, no music program. But I would break out my acoustic guitar, play a couple chords, and I would feel the room transform energetically. Like it was intense, much more than, because when you're in that state, it's raw and hurt and self-loathing and anxiety and that guy's cool and fuck that dude and that's my homie. But one chord, boom. I would do these little boom, diggy, boom, damn, boom, diggy, little country riffs. And even like, the gangbanger would start two-stepping. And I was like, and it stuck with me. So I want to create a music program to bring into treatment centers. And took me 8 months of pitching it before somebody gave me a chance. It didn't happen right out of the gate. And, but right away I had some big successes. I didn't know what I was doing. Now there's like so much science and efficacy, and I know the clinical stuff and all that stuff. But at the time I was just like, maybe this will work. And, in one of my first sessions, a dude came in who was dope sick, suicidal. And he's basically like, hey, what the fuck are you doing here with guitars? I'm a junkie. I'll die on the streets. There's no hope for me, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, listen, man, we're writing a song about our lives. This song's your song. It's our song. And I call him Mr. Pink because I just had a little pink shaker left for him. That's all the instruments I had left. And I just showed him like, okay, man, think of Michael Jackson. There's the groove, bro. And he got into it because we were writing a song about not dying on the streets. He was in there. And there's a magical thing that happens, just to give you a little science, is like everybody will say, yeah, music's magical. Right. Well, when you listen to music, it engages half your brain. When you play music, it engages your whole brain, and exponentially greater impact on, serotonin, oxytocin, the love molecule. Yeah. So by the end of a 45-minute session, he's like, dude, that was killer. You're coming back next week, right? I love that song. I was like, what drug does that?
Totally.
There's not a drug I've ever seen that could take somebody who's depressed and suicidal in 45 minutes. And now I know clinically they call that measures of wellness, right? He had hope. He had a belief in life. So that's been the journey. I formed the org on 12-12-12. We're 13 years deep, and I got a team of like 20 who do what we do out in the world, and we do 600 sessions a month with a couple hundred treatment program partners.
Killer.
We have a 9-year contract with the Department of Defense. They fly us around the country working with wounded warriors. I'll fly to National Harbor to do like 10 days of music with combat wounded veterans.
Killer.
And perform live. And then now, just to keep the spiel going on. So it's called Rock to Recovery. We have the nonprofit, but now with looking at this mental health epidemic and the success we have, we're the #1 rated ancillary service in behavioral health treatment out there, period. We want to get upstream. We want to get to people before rehabs, and the corp wellness market is projected to be like $6 billion. And companies know that if they spend $1 up front on their employees, they save $5 in the back end. It's like, let's get to the mental health or any medical situation, right, sooner than later. So we're using existing technology to build our full stack app so we can grow and scale, and that's called Band Jam. So we'll go out to the broad market and try to change some hearts,
Band Jam.
Band Jam. Because that's what we do. Our shtick is we form a band with the clients, and then we write, perform, and record a song in each session. So I'll go into rehab. I could take 10 people. We'll talk, figure out our song, write it, play, no musical experience at all, and sing it all together and record it.
It's amazing.
What's really cool is that most people will go like, well, that sounds cool. Music's cool. But if you imagine in a treatment center, which you may or may not have been to,
3.
There's so much talking, and you got to face yourself, and let's talk about your dad. Let's talk about your wife, and let's talk about this and that. And, it's really tough. But then when you have this elixir of music that's not only helping your brain chemistry in a positive way, and by the way, the fastest way to rewire neural pathways is through play. It works faster than just repetition. But if you imagine a therapist walks by and they're like, Jim doesn't like to talk to anybody. He's pissed. But in our session, Jim is up there thinking he's Eminem going,
Totally.
Rapping about not doing dope anymore or whatever.
I am so on board. I know that if there's something that just feels so good, as someone who, I don't know how to play instruments, but sometimes it's in some kind of jam session, someone will be like, just this shaker, or just tap. Listen, you know how to just every now and then, like 1, 2, 2, and I'll be like, I feel like I'm part of a team right now.
Yeah.
And it just, man, it does so much for me.
Yeah.
I have a friend, his name's Bob Corbett. He went through this profound depression, and he got to a point where he just hated himself, and he got out of it by celebrating music and dance. That's what got him out of it. Mm-hmm. He wrote a book about it, actually. And I know I can think of so many people that music has saved their lives.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you. It's just so we know it's magic, but we don't use it enough because you can't put it in a pill and sell it. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't know how to bring it to someone. It's like, you're right. It's not, it doesn't, you come in a little package but that's amazing if you're going around. I mean, I'm so bummed that they didn't have it at my rehab, but what we did have is we would sing to things as a group, and I just belted out. And that was quite profound.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. It's, if we look at the history of humanity, right? Music was a community thing, a tribal thing, a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
It was done in groups. So when I go into a session, a lot of times people are like, well, I'm not musical. It's like, well, hold on. Pop culture stole music from us, right? People think if they're not Bruno Mars, they're not musical. It's like, no, music's something we do together as a group exercise. You sing Happy Birthday, don't you? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you know what Kratom is?
I've had a lot of friends that have got fucked up from Kratom.
Kratom is the new most dangerous thing.
Yeah, man.
And you can buy it anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh my
Is
God.
it actually an opiate or it's a synthetic opiate?
It's a synthetic opiate. I've had 3 people call me today. Two of them go, man, I just came across this stuff. It's amazing. I got it at Erewhon. It's called Kratom.
Shut up,
I go,
Erewhon.
back away.
Run.
It sells it. Yeah. Sells it. I mean, I assume Whole Foods probably has a version of it, but Erewhon has it and you can get it anywhere. And I've 3 friends that, oh my God, getting off it was the hardest thing in the world for them.
Yeah. Well, I think too, for
Public service message, stay away from Kratom.
Yeah. Well, and another thing too is that it's kind of right in line with like, it's legal, so it's okay. It's like in line with like, well, my doctor prescribed it to me. It's okay. Not for me. I have a messed up back. I could go get oxycodone and I could say I have anxiety and I need Xanax. I could get all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
The doctor would say I need, and I would be dead very quickly because I'll be like popping out like Pez.
I'm very proud of this fact. I took a colonoscopy test.
Took it.
Had a colonoscopy.
That's a good word.
No drugs. No drugs.
Oh, wow.
None.
You didn't even get put out?
You raw dogged the colonoscopy.
I raw dogged. This is how committed I am to my sobriety. And I'll tell you why, is because as I was getting closer and closer to it, everyone goes, oh my God, you're going to have propofol.
Now
I go, what's the deal? And they go, oh my gosh, you just go right to sleep. And it's so dreamy. I was like, the thing, I'm kind of at a point where if I'm at a party, I don't really care. I don't need alcohol anymore.
Right.
I don't need, pot kind of smells like dummies to me more than it used to smell like relaxation and chill, even though it just made me paranoid. Now it's the smell of being dumb.
Yeah.
No judgment. If anyone loves, all the best. I love, if anyone's having fun with drugs and it's working for them.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good for you.
Awesome.
Have fun.
Oh my God. There's a time and a place for it. If it's for you, have a blast. But the only time I kind of think about a drug is that I have trouble sleeping. I have trouble getting to sleep.
Yeah.
And there's every now and then a thought will come into my head. There are so many drugs available that could make this very easy. And I have to go, I know where that would lead. So when someone talked about how delightful and wonderful it is to go to sleep before your colonoscopy with propofol, I go, well, I got to stay away from it.
Yeah.
It was the worst experience of all time.
Oh, I mean, that is the essence of punk rock sober.
Punk rock sober.
Hold on.
Total punk rock.
The actual colonoscopy was the worst experience of all time?
The colonoscopy was traumatic. Listen, this is a very juvenile thing to think, but my thought was, oh man, just having something stuck in me is going to be so traumatic. That was fine. I think I could probably handle way more than whatever they stuck in me. That was totally fine. It was so greased up, like no problem at all. The issue was once it was inside of me, you don't necessarily feel it, but your body, your insides are so uncomfortable for what's happening that you have these intense cramps that's like, move it this way. And so they're pushing against these cramps. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to splatter junk all over everybody. And they're like, no, we're sucking it out as we go. Like, don't worry about it, dude. But I was just like, oh God, 30 minutes of hell, 30 minutes of just, oh my pouring sweat.
Oh my God.
Are you okay? Stop asking me that. Just do it. And then I could eat. And I was facing the thing. If I had my eyes open, I'd see this. Oh, it was too much.
You could see. Yeah, that's bad. I had, I remember when colon hydrotherapy was real popular.
Where what was?
Colon hydrotherapy, where they'd splash water up in there. It's very popular.
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound bad at all.
But and it isn't bad, but I know a little bit of the feeling what you're talking about because they put a bunch of water, they fill you up, and you're just like, what is up in there? Yeah. But it wasn't poking and digging around. It's
like in your throat. It's so far up, and you know that it didn't go directly to your throat. You know it went. So it's like untangling the whole thing. I mean, it is awful.
But I don't understand because I was sober and I let him do me the normal way because
No, you took something.
no, but that's okay. But because I didn't like. It's not like a relapse. Like I did it medicinally, and it didn't.
I have a friend also that went to the dentist recently, and the dentist goes, "Oh, well, you need some nitrous," and he's like, "What?" In his head, he goes, "I am sober, but you're suggesting nitrous," and he knew he was doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And then the doctor goes, "You know what else am I give you? These 2 Xanax bars." And you go, "Okay." Anyway, he went home, and they gave him an envelope, 3 more Xanax bars. A dentist.
That's dumb. That's a stupid dentist.
Oh,
because any anxiety is gonna last 3 bars.
Did they know he was sober?
3. He went home and started crushing them up and was off to the races.
Yeah. But see, it's a little different. Like in my opinion, and teach them, you got to listen.
Xanax bars.
You got to listen to yourself.
Nut.
That's nutty. But like to get knocked out for a procedure, is a little different than Xanny bars.
Yeah. Do you have any? I'm only looking for names that are public. Obviously, not giving anyone's anonymity. But there's so many really, rock and roll heroes now that are sober. Is there anyone that you can think of that is a public figure that you think is kind of a hero of sobriety?
Well, who I met. I hope he's public.
Head is a great example.
Head's a great example. Yeah. Monkey hasn't drank, or he's been sober 15 years.
What?
I don't know if he's public with that. He is now, but
15 years?
he told me on stage. Yeah.
There's no way he would be not. I think I read that too, actually.
Okay. God forgive me.
He told you on stage, "Don't tell anyone, but I've been sober for a while." Who would be, what rock and roll guy would be ashamed? But Head wrote a book.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the book, but I think I was getting closer to finding a rock bottom, let's say. And I read that book. I was like, dude, this guy's got a rough story. And if he found God and sobriety and it made his life so much better, then he went along and took Wes's job.
Yeah. Which, by the way, was really cool because
it
was his band, right? And then when he came back and reclaimed his spot, he sent me a message. He goes, "Dude, I feel bad. I took your job." And I thought that was the sweetest thing ever.
Hey,
Duff
dude,
McKagan.
I'm back. You're like, awesome. What band are you going to join?
Yeah, like
solo career. Oh, man.
Are we going to do the Iron Maiden thing? They're not as in the forefront, but one of their guys left and they brought in this other guy. And then when the original guy came back, they just kept 3 guitar players. Like, oh, we're going to do Iron Maiden.
Am I sticking around?
3 guitar players, right?
Or John Frusciante that just kept coming and going.
Yeah.
Is he still with the Chili Peppers right now?
I thought he left. I can't keep up.
You want to know something incredible? Is one time, I've told this story on this podcast before, but one time I was with Ashton, my brother, getting very close to having like the worst night of my life. I crashed my car later this evening and I made all kinds of terrible choices, really damaged a lot of things. But before that, I was just drunk at a dinner with Ashton and 3 girls, and was kind of heading towards a blackout. I was at a restaurant, and all of a sudden, a group of people walk in, and one of them was my hero, Anthony Kiedis. And he was also with a group of people who I later found out had left from a AA. They're like, "Hey, let's all go to dinner." And then they left from AA to then come up to a guy that's almost blacked out. Dax Shepard was with them too. And I, in my near blackout state, I still can't believe that I did this. But for whatever reason, even though he's my hero, go, "Anthony Kiedis, you, sir, are a douchebag." And then Ashton tried to tackle me, and then he's on top of me, and I'm screaming, "Douchebag, douchebag, douchebag." And then being wrestled and like probably hit by Ashton.
Yeah.
And supposedly what I learned later from this group, from people in the group, is that they had a little huddle. They go, "We have 2 choices. Should we just collectively beat the shit out of him?" And I think Dax Shepard may have been on the side of that. "Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah.
And they go, "No, let's be like spiritual, like heroes, and let's leave and wish this guy the best." And that's what they did.
Wow.
And the next day I had to go to a meeting. And I'm sitting in the front. Guess who the fucking speaker was?
Oh my gosh.
Anthony Kiedis.
Wow.
And he got up and gave me a hug. And he's like, dude, I'm really excited to see you. I was like, I'm so ashamed. And he goes, I'm just excited that you're getting help.
That's cool.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
What a real deal.
What a chance.
Dude. Yeah. I have nothing but great things to say about that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But it made me think, because sometimes when you're in the rooms, things will trigger you. You'll go, that guy's just talking so it can be heard. That guy seems phony for this reason. This guy's annoying the shit out of me. And I always remember, I'm like, in the middle of whatever I think is triggering me, there's also ultimate realness, and I've experienced it, and it helps me when I needed it.
Yeah. Well, it's our ears, they like to filter and they like to judge, right?
Yeah.
And it's really interesting too is, in the rooms, we have all these people coming in trying to get better character defects and all this kind of stuff. And then we go into the rooms and we start judging everybody. It's like, you know what I mean? We're here with a bag of dirty laundry going, look at this dirty laundry. Like, yeah.
Look at that guy's dirty laundry.
You know what I mean?
It stinks way worse than mine.
It's like I was out there just being a horrible human doing all sorts of horrible things. And I go in AA and I'm like judging everybody for not being perfect. It's just kind of
It's possible to share, so I was like stealing and doing this. And then the next person goes, so I was stealing. What a loser.
Yeah.
You know what I saw? I saw this podcast where, who was it? Pete Davidson.
Okay.
He was being interviewed, and it was on the Theo Vaughn podcast, who is a hero of sobriety.
Is he sober these days?
Dude, I'm pretty sure he is. I know that he had a kind of a concert.
I just saw a video of him where he's talking about taking mushrooms, but maybe he was old. I don't know.
I think it was old.
Okay.
And
Good for him.
Even if he isn't at this moment, I think he's helped a ton of people.
Yeah, that's cool.
So let's call him a hero of recovery. Anyway, they're having this funny conversation about shares that have driven them crazy. And all I know is that Pete Davidson's, he goes, there's this one share that was just driving. There's a guy in this meeting I go to, and he'll play, like right before he shares, he'll have his phone and he'll play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And then he'll share over that. And I'm like, oh my God.
What is going on?
All I would do is make fun of that for weeks.
Yeah.
Does it calm him, or what's the?
I think he thinks it's more dramatic. Like his share is more dramatic.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, I mean, I just did this gala fundraiser where the woman was telling the story of the nonprofit to a sound bed. I was like, that's pretty cool for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
But Twinkle, Twinkle isn't going to get you there.
Twinkle, twinkle. No.
Unless you're talking about how much you missed your kid when CPS came and took him.
Oh my God.
Like, I don't know.
Oh gosh.
I'm trying to understand how that ties into like, so I was getting really wasted, vomiting blood. Twinkle, twinkle,
little star. Maybe I should start doing it.
Maybe about lost childhood. I don't know.
Yeah.
The thing that ultimately I think was just too much, where I thought, I can't. There's nothing I can make an excuse for anymore. And it's why it hit me so hard when you go, dude, you're a liability. You've become a liability. And it's because I had a gummy or something fell out of my pocket, and my young daughter ate it. And man, if there's, I'm laughing about this, but even though it's not funny, but I'm only laughing because I'm like, if there's anything that my wife would kill me over, it's if I caused any harm to.
Yeah.
And of course I can't even fathom living for even a moment with the guilt if anything had happened. I can't even imagine. Oh my gosh, thinking about this for even a heartbeat is dropping the energy. But that's what did it. That's what did it. And then I was in my rehab place, which is very spiritual, very churchy. And I thought, oh my God, I feel so terrible about that happened. How am I even gonna? My self-esteem is gonna. I'm just gonna think I'm the worst forever. And then this guy goes randomly. It's like my first night there. He goes, hey, I think I want to pray for something. He goes, I'm like, God, can you help us? I think this guy needs to forgive himself. And I just did in that moment.
Wow.
It's like, you did it.
Wow.
And then I was able to just go, okay, I'm not going to waste any more time beating myself up. I'm
Yeah.
just going to commit myself to getting better.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, one of the most amazing hacks or whatever that we get, the most amazing blessings is the stuff we did that we have so much shame and remorse over is literally our signpost to help others. So there'll be somebody else who went through that, like maybe worse than you, where their kid did find a pill or something. And if you were to share that, for example, you know what I mean? Or for me, like my mom was going through breast cancer and I was so twacked out. I really didn't visit her until the last moment of the last day, like a good tweaker does, you know, and, so if I share that, then somebody else who's like wasn't there for their parent, they're like, oh man, I was the same way. Thanks for sharing that. And all of a sudden it becomes an asset. But it takes, like you're saying, recovery and being sober. Our stories are those like, hey, come this way. You're with us kind of messages. Truly saves lives,
Well, it's interesting that the stakes, like these conversations it's so different than, there are things that I think truly in the most magnificent way can change somebody's life and save somebody's life. And if they get this, the stakes are so high that it's truly is between life and death. Best case scenario, it's not between life and death, but between life and a terrible life. Make everyone miserable around you. I think I'm like, I kind of stopped thinking about it for a minute, but just today, right before you came in, we've talked about this friend that I love, and he died today, last night today. We don't really understand exactly what happened, but he spent the last kind of burst of effort, or the last thing that he was really into, was helping this other guy, which I think is really beautiful. Helping this other guy that also was kind of a hero in sobriety, went through a relapse, and the relapse is
out there.
He's out there. That's the best way of putting it.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to come back. That silly saying we say all the time. It's like having sex with a 500-pound gorilla. It ain't over until the gorilla says it's over.
It's the best phrase.
Hey, now, sorry about that.
I don't mind.
That means that my parking meter's up, but I moved my car.
You moved your car.
We'll ignore that. Yeah, that's why the concept of powerlessness is so huge and important. And I didn't even know about that till I went to rehab, and then combining that with the concept of the allergy, meaning I have the phenomenon of craving, because I didn't understand my problem. I didn't understand why I would have a Corona, and beer really wasn't my thing. I didn't drink beer all day, but then I would have a Corona and then I need some Jaeger, and I'm cool. Okay, now I'm going to do some cocaine. I don't really even like cocaine. And it's a week-long bender.
Yeah.
The allergy, the phenomenon of craving, the powerlessness, and then once I'm on the train's just going. I don't know when the next stop's coming.
I have been very humbled today and in the last kind of week, seeing someone that I really love who is completely hijacked by this drug and who I have so much respect for, and it's got him, and it's killing everything around. The damage is incredible. That's the wake of destruction is incredible, and it's someone that I know has an incredible, wonderful heart. I also know he's saved several people's lives, and it's such a, so scary.
It's insane. Yeah, I sometimes think about that when I'm in the rooms, because I can almost be lulled to sleep by this new world we live in, where I'm in a big meeting, 100 people, everybody's sober and happy, and then sometimes I think, wow, all these people in here were maniacs.
Maniacs.
Near-death experience, because you don't come in unless you had some near-death experiences or, stuff like that. It's hard to even fathom.
Yeah.
And then, like, to your point, then when you see somebody that you've known primarily through sobriety and recovery and the spiritual life, helping others, and then they go out, you see yourself. I see myself in them. That would be me if I pick up, and it's painful.
A group of about 100 people, and they're all doing great in a room of. Unfortunately, you also know this year a couple of them will die.
Yeah.
No one looks like they're going to die right now, but a couple will die.
Yeah. They told us that in rehab too, like 20 people, and you get that camaraderie, like, yay. And then they're like, statistically, only 3 of you will stay sober and 5 will die. And you're like, what? No, we're all going to make it. And then sure enough, plink, plunk, 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 plunk.
Plunk, plunk.
Yeah. It's a gnarly thing.
Dude, when I was in rehab, there was someone that it was kind of it was like the teacher's pet almost. And I would compete with him. His name was Caesar. And I would compete with him. Whoever would finish like our homework of that week I would be like, I'm this serious about it where I'm going to finish it before you. And he would usually finish it before me. And he would always talk about this terrible chick that just, he came from jail where he was in jail for fraud. I was like, dude, this girl I was dating talked me into this fraud thing. I ended up going to jail for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it sounds like you're never going to see her again. He's like, I don't know, maybe. and I'm like, oh my God, how good could it have been?
Yeah.
Oh, and I was like, promise me you'll never be with this terrible bitch again.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm not going to. Well, you get certain privileges and then you're given certain responsibilities. He got a job as a security guard at the place. And I think he decided that he was going to let her in. And so he could have a little conjugal or something.
Yeah.
They got caught and he decided to leave.
Yeah.
And within only 1 week, he took some fentanyl with her and died.
Ugh.
And he was the best.
Just like that.
And I know so many stories of stuff like that.
Just like that. We give up everything for one thing, right? The one thing, he wanted to get high, that he gave up everything. And then the converse is we give up one thing and we get infinite everything. Like
we give up something that's not helping us and we get everything. I've never been happier.
Infinite potential.
Yeah.
And that's the message that, like, especially we're talking about being in the rooms, 12-step programs. People love to slag it, but it's the most magical process that anybody can use and benefit from. But a lot of times people get stuck in what it was like, or, I'm just a crazy alcoholic and I'm just crazy. It's like, that's not really what we're here to do. We're here. This says we must go on for a lifetime, constant self-appraisal and growth. And you should be constantly evolving. Obviously we're not ever going to be perfect, but that's what excites me, is because when I got this concept of like, wait a second, I started getting really loaded at 14 and stayed loaded till 38. That's 24 years. I am just a mess and a madman. So the world had never seen a sober, evolved, elevated Wes, right?
Right.
So the version I was presenting to the world, it was like they say, our character defects are why we drank in the first place. So it's like, you have a broken knee and you just pound pain pills so you can walk around. You haven't fixed that knee, right? You know what I mean? So I have all my defects. You get sober and now you can like just keep evolving and growing and growing and growing. And that's what excites me so much. And conversely, when I first got sober, you watch your friends who can party and kind of keep it in check. I have a buddy, super good looking, kind of Rob Lowe looking guy, has his own construction company and businesses. And I was, envious, like, I wish I could keep partying like him. But you watch and it's like, well, that's what he's still doing. And now we're, in our age, which I shan't name. And it's like, I'm so glad I'm not that guy, still drinking, still the same old game, the same old, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
So happy. And this is when we say why I would say I'm a grateful alcoholic. I am so grateful. It got so bad that I had to go tap out, get me out, homie. Let's go on this whole new journey.
Totally.
Can never be more grateful for that.
Dude, when I think of Punk Rock Sober, this has been one of my favorite interviews of all time. I'm so honored and
You say that to all your guests.
Well,
it's true, I do, but
no, I'm going to be very clear. I have loved nearly every interview, but I think that I told you this earlier. The one before the David Chokachi, I really felt I'm like, dude, he's going to help some. I'm like, this is going to help some people.
Love that.
And it was more about mental health. But this is my favorite conversation that I've had, at least recently. Do you know who David Desmalchin is?
No.
Oh, dude, every horror movie you've ever loved, he's like the guy. Anyway, dude, he has a share that you can find online, and it's incredible. And sometimes when I have sponsees, I go, listen, I can tell you all kinds of stuff, but like start with this. Like, I hate to give you homework, but watch this video. It's amazing. And there's certain kind of like conversations, but I think this has been amazing. I'm very proud of this conversation.
I love it. It's been beautiful, authentic, just free flowing. It's so funny because out there, I didn't realize buried beneath my addiction, I was so insecure and I just wanted to connect with people. And that's why I got loaded. And then here it is, like the way I'm connecting with people now is because I'm not loaded. The reason I played a show with Papa Roach and jammed on stage with Mercury